clearly there is a criminal investigation underway and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
It's hard to believe, but Diddy Combs, one of hip-hop's biggest names, is now under self-harm watch in a high-security detention center. The mogul, known for his luxury lifestyle and connections to A-list celebrities, is now facing life behind bars. Denied bail by 2 judges, Diddy remains under watch as a grand jury prepares to hear new testimony. His shocking downfall is unfolding with power, scandal, and high-stakes drama, and the situation appears to be worsening by the day.
Story we're tracking: music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on side watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after 2 judges denied his request for bail. This as a grand jury is expected to hear new testimony from workers very soon.
Let's get into the latest. Diddy is now on self-harm watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. While insiders call it precautionary, it's raising concerns. Following an FBI raid, Diddy faces serious racketeering charges linked to decade-long questionable activities. Reports suggest the weight of these allegations is taking a toll on his mental health, sparking further alarm.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that? As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
Sources close to Diddy reveal he is desperate to communicate with his 7 children, 3 of whom are still minors. Family insiders report that the kids are in shock and are leaning on one another for support as they navigate this incredibly challenging and stressful time.
Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
Diddy is facing serious charges that could result in a lengthy prison sentence, including racketeering, which is often linked to organized crime. The FBI is reportedly building a robust case against him, having uncovered a wealth of video footage, documents, and electronic data. This evidence could potentially blow the case wide open, painting a grim picture for one of hip-hop's biggest moguls.
Special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3, staff members escorting them.
Let's not overlook the shocking details surrounding Diddy's arrest. He wasn't simply picked up off the streets. Authorities knew exactly where to find him. Following a grand jury indictment, Homeland Security agents arrested him on September 16 at a Manhattan hotel. There was no dramatic chase, just a quiet arrest that stunned the music industry. Diddy had been bracing for this, flying to New York days earlier to face the inevitable. Currently, he's in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, known for its harsh conditions, including freezing temperatures and minimal outside access. It's a far cry from the luxurious mansions he's used to.
I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now.
Diddy, now known as register number 3,745,254 by the Bureau of Prisons, faces the same conditions as all inmates. His day begins at 6 o'clock a.m. with a basic breakfast, underscoring the tough adjustment he must make in this stark environment.
I've had clients describe MDC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
Diddy's celebrity status makes him a prime target among inmates, as taking down a high-profile figure would be a significant win for anyone seeking notoriety. Just months ago, he lived in luxury with private jets and sprawling estates. Now, he faces cramped conditions in a steel bed and thin mattress, sharing space with over 1,000 inmates. His lawyers have described the situation as horrific, and after 2 bail denials, Diddy remains stuck in MDC for the foreseeable future.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living.
But here's the kicker. Diddy is not just focused on himself. Sources reveal he's determined to stay strong for his kids and is desperate to speak with them. He has been allowed only a few brief phone calls, which is far from sufficient for a father of 7. His family is in crisis, with 17-year-old twins Delilah and Jesse staying with a close family friend in Los Angeles, while the rest of his children try to hold things together. Meanwhile, Diddy waits behind bars for his next court date as the media frenzy intensifies, labeling this case one of the biggest scandals in music history. With serious legal battles ahead, a potential life sentence looms over him.
Yesterday, all over our social media pages, Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
As if this situation wasn't challenging enough, Diddy's legal team faces an uphill battle. They argued that his wealth and prominence should justify bail, proposing house arrest at his luxurious Miami mansion with 24-hour surveillance. However, the judge dismissed this, ruling Diddy as too much of a flight risk and a potential danger to witnesses. Prosecutors have portrayed him as someone with a history of intimidation, and the overwhelming evidence against him has left the judge skeptical about his ability to remain free before trial.
These are all allegations that have become shockingly familiar against Diddy in recent months as he has faced lawsuit after lawsuit from women and men who have accused him of all manner of bad behavior.
Let's not overlook the infamous videos, which are key pieces of evidence that could seal Diddy's fate. Federal investigators have gathered hours of footage that reportedly show Diddy engaging in behavior that many would find hard to believe. This evidence, alongside other electronic data, forms the backbone of the prosecution's case and could be pivotal for his defense.
Plaintiff. So basically what that means is the money that they're saying Diddy has to start paying this guy on October 1st, Diddy's team is like, hold on, we need an emergency conversation about why this should not have been granted. And they awarded him a TRO, which basically meant that Diddy's team was not allowed to sell any property in that state or anything related to what could be used to pay the plaintiff.
Despite the challenges, Diddy's legal team remains resolute, vowing to fight the charges until the end. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, emphasized that Diddy is ready for the battle ahead and maintains his innocence, stating he looks forward to clearing his name. However, as Diddy spends more time in jail, the pressure mounts and his image as a powerful and untouchable mogul begins to crack. Some have even begun to draw comparisons between Diddy's situation and those of other high-profile figures facing similar scandals.
Replete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras.
For now, Diddy remains in his cell at MDC Brooklyn, awaiting the next chapter of this unbelievable story. This situation starkly contrasts the luxurious life he once led. As days pass, it's clear this isn't merely a temporary setback. It could signify the beginning of the end for one of the most powerful figures in the music industry. The focus is shifting to the bigger picture surrounding Diddy's downfall, which extends beyond one man's dramatic fall from grace. Whispered parallels between Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein are emerging, with some suggesting Diddy's narrative could follow a similar dark path. Like Epstein, Diddy wielded immense power in the industry, capable of making or breaking careers with a single call. Now, as the charges accumulate, questions arise about how far he went to maintain that influence and whether his fun-loving persona was merely a mask for something more sinister.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors. Yeah, I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
Diddy's legal team remains resolute, vowing to fight the charges until the end. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, emphasized that Diddy is ready for the battle ahead and maintains his innocence, stating he looks forward to clearing his name. However, as Diddy spends more time in jail, The pressure mounts, and his image as a powerful and untouchable mogul begins to crack. Some have even begun to draw comparisons between Diddy's situation and those of other high-profile figures facing similar scandals.
That essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap.
For now, Diddy remains in his cell at MDC Brooklyn, awaiting the next chapter of this unbelievable story. This situation starkly contrasts the luxurious life he once led. As days pass, it's clear this isn't merely a temporary setback. It could signify the beginning of the end for one of the most powerful figures in the music industry. The focus is shifting to the bigger picture surrounding Diddy's downfall, which extends beyond one man's dramatic fall from grace. Whispered parallels between Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein are emerging, with some suggesting Diddy's narrative could follow a similar dark path. Like Epstein, Diddy wielded immense power in the industry, capable of making or breaking careers with a single call. Now, as the charges accumulate, questions arise about how far he went to maintain that influence and whether his fun-loving persona was merely a mask for something more sinister.
Criminal investigation for months by federal prosecutors here in New York, and if there are criminal charges, many of them may look a lot like what some of these individuals have been described.
For years, whispers about Diddy's wild private life have surfaced, hinting at extravagant parties where things spiraled out of control. With current events bringing these stories to light, many are questioning whether the rumors about his shocking behavior hold more truth than previously thought.
Stacey Schneider. And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking?
One key similarity between Diddy and Epstein is their alleged use of power to control others. Like Epstein, Diddy is accused of manipulating those around him through fear, bribery, and intimidation. These behaviors aren't just isolated incidents. They have reportedly been part of Diddy's playbook for years. Stories span decades of him losing his temper, threatening those who crossed him, and using his wealth to achieve his desires. One source even likened Diddy's empire to a criminal organization, with him pulling all the strings. Diddy's rise to fame began in the early 90s with the establishment of Bad Boy Records, shaping modern hip-hop alongside artists like the Notorious Big, Faith Evans, and Maze. However, lurking behind his success was always a darker side.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
The story began unfolding almost immediately, revealing Diddy as a hard-driving boss who demanded perfection. Former employees described him as ruthless, ruling through fear and making it clear that crossing him would lead to regret. Rumors about his personal life have also raised eyebrows over the years.
Everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as it seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Everything.
Among the most shocking allegations against Diddy are his infamous freak-off parties, which reportedly featured highly questionable behavior. These gatherings went beyond typical celebrity blowouts, transforming into wild, multi-day events filled with bizarre activities. Some sources even claim that Diddy recorded these parties, creating a stockpile of videos that could now contribute to the mountain of evidence against him.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who...
Sound familiar? This situation is eerily reminiscent of the allegations against Epstein, who reportedly used recordings of private gatherings to manipulate powerful individuals. Like Epstein, there's a growing belief that Diddy's connections in Hollywood and the music industry shielded him from scrutiny for years. His wealth and influence silenced many, but the sheer scope of these allegations has led experts to speculate that Diddy could face a life sentence if convicted. Prosecutors are building a case that may rival Epstein's, complete with a trove of evidence spanning years. Discussions of video footage, witness testimonies, and electronic data could paint a damning portrait of a man willing to do anything to maintain his empire.
With this newest lawsuit, this would probably only expedite or increase the amount of allegations and potential witnesses who could testify against Sean Combs.
This isn't just about Diddy's actions behind closed doors. He was also at the center of significant scandals in the music industry, the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, which contributed to the deaths of Tupac and the Notorious Big, placed him in a controversial spotlight. With new charges emerging, many are questioning if Diddy's past is finally catching up to him.
He controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
Even more troubling are the accusations that Diddy has engaged in a long pattern of abusive behavior. Similar to Epstein, multiple individuals are coming forward with stories highlighting his misconduct. Former associates, business partners, and ex-girlfriends have painted a picture of a man far more controlling and aggressive than his public persona suggested, seemingly hiding in plain sight all these years. The parallels between Diddy and Epstein extend beyond their behavior. Both men operated within elite circles, surrounded by powerful individuals who seemingly ignored the misconduct. In Epstein's case, celebrities, politicians, and business leaders were implicated, and for Diddy, the list of names connected to his world is just as shocking. The so-called Diddy list is circulating on social media, with fans speculating about which celebrities may have attended his infamous private parties. Names like Leonardo DiCaprio, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Justin Bieber have been mentioned as possible attendees. While there's no solid proof of their involvement in anything dubious, their connection to Diddy raises significant questions about what they might have known.
End of the Diddy story as we know it.
Not everyone believes Diddy will go down without a fight. His loyal fans have taken to social media, defending him and suggesting that this could be part of a larger conspiracy aimed at taking him down. One comment making the rounds references the mysterious circumstances surrounding Epstein's demise, stating, "Let me guess, the cameras will stop working, the guards will fall asleep, and there will be an accident." With Diddy now under self-harm watch, some fans speculate that something suspicious might occur. However, others are less sympathetic, with one fan bluntly stating, "He created his own hell. No one should feel sorry for him." This sentiment is growing as more details emerge, revealing years of alleged abuse and manipulation.
Alleged evidence that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles, and the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these sexual performances that have been named freak-offs.
So, what happens next? Diddy's legal team continues to fight tirelessly for his bail. But with the mounting evidence against him, success seems increasingly unlikely. Meanwhile, the media frenzy intensifies with new revelations, accusations, and individuals coming forward daily. As seen in other high-profile cases, once the floodgates open, it's hard to stop the tide. While it's difficult to predict the outcome, one thing is certain: Diddy's once glittering career is in serious jeopardy. Whether he faces life behind bars or manages to beat the charges, his reputation may never fully recover from this stunning fall from grace. As court dates draw near and more allegations pile up, a critical question emerges. Will Diddy's empire collapse like so many others before him, or can he somehow evade this seemingly inevitable fate? Time will reveal the outcome, but one thing is certain: the world will be closely monitoring every development. What are your thoughts? Is Diddy genuinely facing the end of his reign, or could he make a comeback from this massive scandal? And what about the unsettling parallels to Epstein? Share your views in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. We'll catch you in the next video.